Your dog is probably lying to you every time they accidentally knock a treat off the counter or pretend they don't hear you calling them in from the rain. They are running a complex cost-benefit analysis in their head. Most people think a smart dog is just one that sits on command. They're wrong. True canine intelligence is about manipulation, problem solving, and the ability to learn a human language faster than a toddler. Stanley Coren, a leading neuropsychological researcher, spent years ranking these animals based on their ability to understand new commands and follow them on the first try. If your dog isn't on this list, they might just be a very cute roommate. If they are, you aren't their owner, you're their co-worker. Number 12, the Schnauzer Miniature. The miniature Schnauzer is a tiny German powerhouse built with the brain of a much larger animal. Farmers in the 19th century needed a dog small enough to fit into barn crevices but smart enough to outthink a rat. This isn't just about speed. A rat is a cunning opponent. To catch one, a dog has to predict its movements and set traps. The Schnauzer learned to listen for the specific frequency of a rodent's heartbeat through wood and stone. They were bred by crossing standard Schnauzers with Poodles and Affenpinschers, specifically selecting for the individuals that showed the highest levels of focus. If you own one, you know they don't just bark at the mailman. They monitor the perimeter of your house with the discipline of a professional security detail. They understand the difference between a stranger and a neighbor simply by the rhythm of their footsteps. Number 11, the Pembroke Welsh Corgi. Don't let the short legs and the fluffy backside fool you. The Corgi is a tactical genius. They were designed to herd cattle, which are roughly 30 times their size. A Corgi doesn't have the physical strength to move a cow, so they use psychological warfare. They nip at the heels of the livestock and then immediately drop flat to the ground. This prevents the cow from kicking them, as the kick passes harmlessly over their back. This requires a level of spatial awareness and timing that most other breeds lack. They have to anticipate a 1,000-pound animal's reaction before it happens. In the 1930s, Princess Elizabeth fell in love with them, but the British royals didn't keep them for their looks. They kept them because a Corgi can learn a new command in about 15 repetitions. They are world-class observers who learn your daily routine within 48 hours of moving in. If you change your shoes, they already know if you're going to the gym or just taking out the trash. Most dog owners believe their pet understands them, but the next few breeds on our list actually do. We are entering the territory of dogs that can solve puzzles that would frustrate a human child. Number 10, the Australian Cattle Dog. The Australian Cattle Dog, or Blue Heeler, was engineered for the most brutal environments on Earth. In the 1800s, Australian settlers realized their traditional herding dogs were collapsing in the heat. They needed something tougher, so they crossed the Smithfield Collie with the dingo, a wild native canine. The result was a dog that literally never stops thinking. There is a famous story of a blue heeler named Skidboot who became a national sensation. He could be told to go to a specific spot, stay there while his owner left the building, and ignore every single distraction, from steaks on the floor to other dogs barking in his face. He could even operate a VCR. These dogs don't just want to please you, they want a job. If you don't give them a puzzle to solve, they will take apart your couch just to see how the springs work. Number 9, the Rottweiler. The Rottweiler gets a bad reputation because of its size, but in the Roman Empire, they were the ultimate logistics officers. They guarded money. When Roman soldiers traveled, they would tie their pouches of gold around the Rottweiler's neck because they knew no human was smart enough to outmaneuver the dog. They have an incredible capacity for adaptive intelligence. This means they can take a rule they learned in one situation and apply it to a completely different one. If a Rottweiler is trained to guard a door, and you move that door, they don't get confused. They understand the concept of entryway and will pivot their strategy. They are one of the few breeds that will actually talk back to their owners with a low grumble, not as a threat, but as a form of complex communication to express their specific needs. Number 8, the Papillon. The Papillon is the only toy breed to make the top 10. Named after the French word for butterfly because of their ears, these dogs were the favorites of Marie Antoinette. But they aren't lap dogs. They are basically border collies in a 5-pound body. During the Renaissance, they were used to perform complex tricks in royal courts to entertain kings. A Papillon can learn to navigate an agility course faster than almost any other breed. Their brain-to-body mass ratio is highly efficient. They are known for being one-trial learners. If they see you hide a treat behind a book on a high shelf once, they will remember that location for months. They are masters of cause and effect. They know exactly which button to push, sometimes literally, to get what they want. Number 7, the Labrador Retriever. The Labrador is the most popular dog in America for a reason, but people often mistake their kindness for lack of intellect. Labs are the kings of social intelligence. They can read human facial expressions better than almost any other animal on the planet. They were originally bred in Newfoundland to help fishermen haul in nets. This required the dog to distinguish between a floating buoy and a fish in murky, freezing water. Modern labs are the gold standard for service work. A guide dog has to perform intelligent disobedience. If a blind owner tells a lab to walk forward, but the dog sees a car coming, the dog will refuse the command. It takes a massive amount of cognitive processing to override a direct order from a master to ensure their safety. They aren't just following rules, they are making executive decisions. As we move into the top 6, we are looking at dogs that possess a level of focus that is almost eerie. These animals don't just see the world, they analyze it. Number 6, the Shetland Sheepdog. The Sheltie comes from the harsh Shetland Islands of Scotland, where resources were scarce and every animal had to earn its keep. They were bred to keep birds and stray sheep away from the family garden. This required them to be hyper-aware of boundaries. A Sheltie has an internal map of its territory that is incredibly precise. If you move a piece of furniture in your house, a Sheltie will notice it immediately and investigate why. They are often called shadows because they track their owner's every move. In intelligence testing, they consistently rank in the top tier for working intelligence. They can learn a new command in fewer than 5 repetitions. They are so sensitive to their environment that they can often predict a thunderstorm or a visitor's arrival long before a human senses anything is wrong. Number 5, the Doberman Pinscher. The Doberman was created by a German tax collector named Louis Doberman. He needed a dog that was fast, intimidating, and, most importantly, smart enough to distinguish between a peaceful citizen and a potential attacker. This requires a high level of discriminate intelligence. Unlike most dogs that bark at everything, a Doberman is constantly calculating. They are known for their ability to read the room. During World War II, the US Marine Corps used Dobermans as sentries. A dog named Cappy saved the lives of 250 Marines on Guam by alerting them to hidden Japanese soldiers. He didn't bark and give away their position. He used a specific body posture to communicate the threat silently. They are tactical thinkers who are always 3 steps ahead of their surroundings. Number 4, the Golden Retriever. While the lab is the king of social cues, the Golden Retriever is the master of empathy and retrieval. They were bred to recover downed waterfowl without damaging the birds. This requires soft mouth control, which is a feat of motor skill intelligence. A golden can carry a raw egg in its mouth without breaking the shell. But their real brilliance lies in their patience. They are frequently used in search and rescue because they can maintain focus for hours in chaotic environments. They are capable of learning over 200 commands and can understand the difference between specific objects, like get your blue ball versus get your red ball. They don't just react to sound, they understand the intent behind the word. Number 3, the German Shepherd. The German Shepherd is the ultimate polymath of the dog world. They are the only breed that is consistently world-class at police work, military maneuvers, and family protection. Their intelligence is rooted in their versatility. In the early 1900s, Captain Max von Stephanitz standardized the breed with one goal: utility. A German Shepherd named Felax of Lewano was honored after World War I for bringing 54 wounded soldiers to safety. These dogs can be trained to detect landmines, sniff out drugs, and even find electronics like hidden hard drives. They have a high drive, meaning their brain is wired to solve problems until they reach a conclusion. They don't give up. If they can't get over a wall, they will look for a way under it or around it. Number 2, the Poodle. Forget the fancy haircuts and the dog shows. The Poodle is a genius masquerading as an athlete. They were originally water retrievers in Germany. The pom-pom clips were actually functional. They protected the dog's joints and vital organs from cold water while leaving the rest of the body sheared for speed. Poodles are legendary for their human-like reasoning. They are one of the few breeds that can learn by watching. If a poodle sees you open a door by turning a handle, they will attempt to mimic that exact physical motion. They are also highly manipulative. They will often play dumb to see what they can get away with, only to execute a perfect command the moment a high-value treat is presented. Their cognitive flexibility is why they were the primary circus performers for centuries. They can learn complex, multi-stage routines that would confuse most other animals. Number 1, the Border Collie. The Border Collie is widely considered the smartest animal on 4 legs. They don't just learn commands, they learn categories. A Border Collie named Chaser became world famous for knowing the names of over 1,000 unique objects. If her owner told her to find a toy she had never heard of before, she would look at a pile of toys, identify all the ones she did know, and use the process of elimination to find the new one. They use a technique called the eye, a piercing stare used to intimidate sheep into moving. This requires intense mental concentration that can last for hours. In a famous experiment, a Border Collie named Rico was shown to have fast mapping abilities, which is the same way human children learn language. He could hear a word once and immediately attach it to an object. If you have a Border Collie, you aren't just keeping a pet, you are living with a biological supercomputer that requires constant mental stimulation, or it will eventually learn how to unlock your front door and let itself out for a walk. Make sure to subscribe for more dog videos.